Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. I just inherited a very interesting vintage watch that used to belong to my great-grandfather. This is a little Elgin watch and I don't know anything about it. I'm guessing it's from the 30s or 40s, but I have no idea. But tonight, we're going to be reviewing it. Here is the little Elgin. And when I say little, I am not joking, as you will find out when we get to the specs on this watch. But it is really cool looking. This is the bracelet that it was on when I received it. It's one of the stretchy kind, and it's gold plated like the watch. And when the watch is on this bracelet, it literally looks like a lady's watch in every way, shape, or form. So as soon as I got this watch home, I purchased a leather strap for it. I wasn't sure how much I would like this watch, so I just went with a cheap $20 genuine leather strap, and it looks pretty good. It looks much better on leather. This is a buckle that I had already in the box. I went with this because it's so long, it kind of micro adjusts. It was kind of in between before. Alright, now this watch is kind of a mystery because it's gold plated and it came on a dressy gold plated bracelet, but as you'll see, there are some military cues to this watch. It reminds me a little bit of the A11 pieces. That's why I'm guessing that it's maybe from the 40s or so, but I have no idea. I've done image searches online and I haven't seen this anywhere. So I really don't know what reference it is or when it was produced or anything about it. If any of you out there are knowledgeable on Elgins and know what this is, please let us know in the comments below. That would be amazing. So the first interesting thing is we have drilled lugs. And I don't know how common that is with watches of this age. But that is an interesting thing to put on a dress watch. The case itself is pretty thin, but look at that insane crystal. It is an absolute bubble, and it's pretty beat up. I've been taking it to the buffer wheel using a red stone that I have, and I got them a little bit better. Believe it or not, they were worse than this when I first got the watch. So I'm going to keep on working on it, and hopefully I'll be able to get those to go away. There's also little marks all throughout the crystal up in there. I'm hoping to get rid of those as well. Looking at the case back, there is absolutely nothing on it, except it notes right here that it is 10 karat gold filled. So I actually own a watch that has real gold on it now. Looking at the crown, it's pretty large, yet thin. Winding it feels really good. There's a loud click to it. And because of that crown size, it really doesn't take very many turns to fill this watch up. But we see that it does work. It's coming to life. We'll fill this thing all the way up. There we go. The crown is sterile, and it's still gold. It hasn't worn off or anything. Looking at this dial, to me it looks almost field watch style. Just very basic Arabic numerals there, painted on. And we see this minutes and seconds track around it. And look at that seconds hand. It dives deeply into there. And again, to me, it looks field watch-ish. Yet the rest of this watch is dressy. Very strange. And it gets even stranger because, we'll pop this out, this watch hacks. Just like the A11 spec, the hands feel great when you're moving them. They aren't too loose to where it feels like you could blow on the crown and have them move. Look at how small that crown stem is. A little bit terrifying. Pop that back in. It looks like it has a very low beat rate though. When I got this home, I put it on the Timeographer and it seemed to be doing surprisingly well. We'll see how it's performing tonight. As for the specifications on this watch, the case size is only 30 millimeters. Tiny. The lug width is only 16, so when you're buying straps, you're actually buying ladies' watch straps for the most part. The case height, because of that crazy crystal, is 12 millimeters, and the lug to lug is only 34 millimeters, which is actually the case size of vintage watches that I prefer, 34, 35, 36. Alright, so let's put this thing on the Timeographer and see how it's doing tonight. Alright, so here's my trusty Timeographer. Let's put this on. Alright, the real-time display is not doing nearly as well as when I got it home. We'll see if it kind of cleans up a little bit. When I first put it on the Timeographer, these were cleaner lines, but they're kind of snowflakes a little bit. Plus 27 seconds a day. Kind of low amplitude. Not a great beat error. There we go, now they're cleaning up a little bit. But it's not doing as terrible as I thought it would. However, at some point, maybe in the next few months or so, I'll send it in and have it serviced, if I decide that I like this watch enough. Otherwise, it'll be a great shelf piece, just to kind of have on display. So we've taken a look at this little guy. Let's see what it looks like on the wrist. So let me take my pull router off, and I'll show you what this looks like on my 7-inch wrist. And there it is. The little tiny Elgin on my 7-inch wrist. It looks pretty cool. What's interesting is when I watch movies where guys are wearing vintage watches, they look really tiny. When I wear vintage watches on my own wrist, they don't look so small. This, when I look down, looks like watches do when I see them on screen, when I see vintage pieces in movies. So to me, it looks small like a vintage watch, where other pieces, like the pull router for instance, just kind of look like a normal size. If I could get that crystal all cleaned up, I think that would help quite a bit. And when I do send it in for servicing, maybe a really gentle cleaning of that dial, very carefully, just to kind of get some of the gunk off of it without taking off any paint or anything. That's a pretty cool little piece of history there. Very cool. So there you have it, a really cool, dressy yet military vintage watch that's really, really small. I think I might have gone too small, but it is a great little watch. Thanks for watching.